Look, I know it's difficult to get excited about a Dacia Sandero, but realistically, these kind of cars actually excite me a little bit more than like big performance cars, because it's much easier to get it entirely wrong with one of these because of the budgets being so tight. So when Dacia first arrived, I still advise people, especially new drivers or people moving from a 10-year-old car, to have a look at what Dacia does, because their cars are usually pretty good. They're usually very affordable as well. And this is no different. These new Sanderos start at around €13,000, and for that you actually get pretty much everything in other cars, and there is some clever little bits that Dacia's done that no one else seems to have thought of. So one of the things that is different in the Dacia is this. You'll notice that here there is no radio. There's no radio, Dacia. Nothing here. Why is that? It's because they've moved the radio to the center console of this thing. Everything's moved in here now. And they put in this thing called media control, which is just a flap that you put your phone into, like this. And then your phone, well, becomes the media center. Now you connect it by wire here, or it's connected by Bluetooth, like it is in my car at the moment. Spotify, you can turn that one around and it doesn't make a blimey difference, it's going to stay where it is. So the media control thing is okay. Now certainly, definitely with sat-nav, when you turn that way around, no problem at all. So when you put your sat-nav in here, your sat-nav will continue to work as normal, and it looks like you just put in your stuff. As you can see, I'm in greystones like this. So it does work, it's nice, it's a nice idea. I don't know how practicable it'll be every day without going, you know, the right orientation, but certainly I can control my radios from here as well. So I can go, my radio's on the main screen here, just go FM, and there we are, radio's on now, no problem. And I can go into every single setting on the car is also here as well, so I can see my fuel economy, I can see all that sort of stuff, all pop up on the screen as per normal, and my gear operation. I quite like it, I quite like this. Utilitarian, and it works. Now let's take it for an actual drive and see how that feels. So I nearly forgot to drive a manual, you know. You can hear it all come on there, yeah? That's what's happening right now. So I just want to go through the screen, the little screen here in front of me. So I'm going to use the second little GoPro here to do that, right? So if I go home, you can see all the things you want to do. So that goes into radio, so you can go FM. So there's all your radio channels from the area, yeah. So you go up home, then you go down one, and you press that, and that brings in your BT audio, yeah. So if you go OK now, or go down, is it down? Or it's down or up, you can fast forward the track, go back in the track. There was a way there, you see, you can go into my music and playlists and radio and podcasts, you can do all that stuff, and everything's controlled from that very basic screen in front of me. Now, nothing wrong with basic, lads. I have a problem with people telling me the technology is brilliant, you know, but actually that stuff works, and that's the key here, is that works. It works all the time. Now that also means you have to put your phone into the My Media holder, which is not necessarily where I want it to be, because it's quite hard to get it back out of there when you want to get out of the car, and I don't necessarily want to be hanging about trying to pull things in and out of little corners. But the car itself, on the road, the dampers are okay. And not brilliant, but look at the price. Okay, let's not get too excited here. This is not going to do massive laps of any racetracks or anything. You're just going to be driving quite normally in this car, going to the shops and doing your stuff. There's plenty of room in this car for 4 people. It's quite easy to get 4 people into the car. And the car itself is set up just to kind of trundle about like a shopping trolley. That's what I like as well. There's nothing I actually dislike. Does that sound weird? I don't really want to, like, it's so easy to rubbish a car like this because it's cheap, because, you know, parts are affordable, or because it has got a prestige badge. But then, what's the point in doing that? What's the point in looking at a car and going, that's not good enough? Actually, I want to go this way. That's just not good enough. And it is good enough. This is now the most affordable car in Ireland, and yet it has everything that is in the most expensive brands. But they've done it differently. They've just done it in a way that's not as straightforward as you might think. It's very easy to drive this car. If you're a learner driver, or you're a more mature driver and you're downgrading from something else, or you're moving from somewhere else and you want to move into like tax band A, tax band A1, A2, somewhere in that region, why wouldn't you look at a Dacia Sandero? Like, this would make sense. I have a little soft spot for Sandero because it came in and kind of changed the market. Like most things, like the Koreans did. They came in and everybody went, yeah, right, sure, these guys are going to take over the market. Smiles on the other side of their faces. Now, same with Dacia. No one's laughing at this car, lads. We're all kind of giggling at the first generation of this car going, yeah, cheap. This one's not quite as funny. People aren't finding this now as quite as humorous because this is quite a serious threat. At the price it's at, it actually competes more or less with like lower grade Renault Clio. There's nothing in the Volkswagen group that comes near the price of this. I don't know where it's all going to fit in. Isn't Greystone's very twee? I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean it's very, you know, chocolate box nearly. Anyway, I do like this little car. I think it's a good little car. Now, the 5-speed box does not do well on motorways. I'll warn you that. It doesn't do well on motorways. Oh, look, there's the Happy Pair place. Heard a lot about. There it is there. Happy Pair. Wonder are they still happy. 5-speed's not great on a motorway. 6-speed is better on a motorway. Right? There's also a LPG version of this car. Who knew? Who knew they were going to go back to LPGs again, boys? LPG actually has a little bit more horsepower in it, but it's kind of harder to find the fuel because a lot of LPG stations are gone now. They were just removed and people weren't really using them. But if LPG is back, the stations will start to come back along with them. I have great respect for what Dacia is trying to do here. It's something totally different. It's something just not the same as everything else. And that to me works. That means you're in something else other than the normal grey Euro boxes you see the whole time. And this is, make no mistake, a grey Euro box. It's got the right license plate though. It's got KE written on the front where I'm from, there. But I think it's a lovely car. I have no complaints here whatsoever. Anyway, thank you for joining this little short review of the Dacia Sandero. We will be booking in the Sandero later on for a proper review, and I'll get a different kind of model of it. I quite like this. I think this is going to be quite a successful little car for Dacia, if truth be told. I think it's going to be a good little car for them. And I'd be very happy to see more of them on the road because it's a good looking car on the exterior as well. Thank you very much for joining me, and until the next time, I will see you on the far side. So I want to look at these. This is a roof rack attachment on the stepway. Okay, so what you're looking at here this is just the roof bars that are laid across. And you'd imagine then to put on a roof rack, you put on bars across top of that. Well, that's not what you have to do. Oh, that's very handy.
You see it now.
That's very clever. I know you talked it. So what we've done is here we put the roof bars, which were this way, on that car. You see over there. Now they're across the things you put your roof rack on. That's just clever. That's just clever. I like that. Just automatically be able to turn them around. It doesn't take very long either. Literally did it here. Sean did it here in 2 minutes. It's all done. And now you have a space for your roof rack. Also going to show you Lpg connector right here. So you can run your car on LPG as well. Yeah, strange that, isn't it? No electrics here, just LPG. Also in the stepway, not sure you can see it here, but there's a little shopping bag hook right there. Little thing for holding your shopping on the way home. You're getting your takeaway, you put it into your car, there she is. And there's the touchscreen one, so you see that there. So you're not using the normal ones. Very straightforward. I like it, Dacia. I like what you're doing.